This video covers hot off the press MLS Marin County real estate information that you won't see anywhere else. And also must know information for every buyer and seller in California. Don't be scammed. Let's get to it. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Marin, I love to help people just like you make a smart move. And this week, I can take on one new client, so email me today. Okay, let's look at the information current through Wednesday of this week and straight off our MLS. There are currently 328 active listings in Marin County, and there are 52 new listings. As you can see, both are down from last week. 56 homes closed this past week, 35 homes went pending, and 29 are now contingent. Let's take a closer look at the homes that closed this past week. 26 homes closed below list price this week with an average of 8% below list price. You can see those right here. 9 homes closed at about list price. That's right here. Sorry about that yellow marker. I realize you could probably barely see it. And 19 homes right here. Okay, that's better. Closed above list price with an average of 9% above list price. By the way, obviously the percentages are over in this column here, but this column right here is the price per square foot. So you might want to take a look at this information and figure out about what things are going for in the area that you're interested in. And these are the homes that are back on the market, homes where the deals fell through. This is your second chance to purchase a home that you noticed in the past. Note that most of these homes were on the market a long time before falling out of contract. We can see that right here. Maybe the sellers are ripe for a price that will be great for the next buyer. Pause the video to take a closer look at these homes. And here are the homes with a reduced price. This week, there are 22 of these ranging from a 60% reduction to a 1% reduction with an average of a 12% discount. Note that this second column from the right lists the total percentage price reduction since the home was listed, not just the last reduction that you'll see on Zillow. Also note that these homes with the biggest price reduction up here, that is these ones right there. Again, not a great highlighter. Anyway, those belong in a particular building in San Rafael that is for seniors or 55 plus in age. And although these may seem like really reasonable prices, being $95,000 and $150,000 for any place in Marin County, these have a very hefty month to month. And what I mean by hefty is about $4,000 a month. And what I mean by amenities is like 24-hour nurse on call care and a cooked chef's meal once a day and gyms and pools and lots of stuff like that. There really is a lot included, but that's still a pretty high monthly charge for most people. By the way, this is the time in my videos that I generally provide the data on how prices are shaping up so far on this date in this month. But guess what? Closed price data is of course from yesterday, and that means we were only 2 days into the month of August. And you know what? It's just not worth looking at 2 days of data. It's in no way statistically significant. So I'll take up that information next week when I have a bit more data. Actually, I think next week I'll have the full month charts for all of July. So it'll probably be the following week after that that I'll start showing the data on the date of the month again. Last, as promised in my video last week, I'm going to do my explanation of the most important contingency for both buyers and sellers in the California Residential Purchase Agreement. There are 2 other important contingencies, the loan and the appraisal contingencies. Comment below if you'd like me to cover those in a future video. In fact, next time I do that kind of content, I'm going to break it into its own video so that I can cover the topics in more depth. But I'll do the contingency one now. Okay, so what makes the investigation contingency so important? Bottom line, it allows a buyer to back out of their contract with a home seller and get their full deposit back for pretty much any reason. If you aren't familiar with investigation contingencies, the purpose of them is to give the buyer time to perform due diligence on the home to find out if there's some unforeseen circumstance that would make them not want to go through with the purchase. And the deal is If a buyer finds some unforeseen circumstance during their stated contingency period that they wrote in their purchase offer, then the buyer can not only end the contract, but they get their full deposit back, less any likely small fees that were already incurred while the home was in escrow. So here's how buyers get caught off guard about how important this investigation contingency is. Seller agents have been known to say to buyers, and also to naive buyer agents, that, quote, the home's disclosures contain full inspections, so why do you need an investigation contingency? First, all buyers should get their own inspections, even if the seller has provided home inspections. And buyers can learn a ton of valuable information from the inspector that they hire by being present during the inspection. Many inspectors will give you extra details that you'll never see in their report. But the real reason that buyers get scammed when agents suggest that they don't need an investigation contingency is because the investigation contingency includes a lot more than doing home inspections. It includes having time to make sure you can find a reasonable homeowner's policy. Not always easy in the state of California because of our fires. The contingency also gives you time to make sure the home quoted the square footage that is actually accurate. It gives buyers time to look into crime statistics, time to find out how difficult it might be to get local permits for any work you want to do, and a whole lot more. Bottom line, there's a lot more due diligence needed in a home than is ever provided in just the home inspections. To see just how broad the investigation contingency is, here's the last paragraph on the contingency explanation as stated in the California Buyers Investigation Advisory. Pause the video if you want to read the whole thing, but let me direct you to the last line. This contingency includes the, quote, personal needs, requirements, and preferences of the buyer. That could really be just about anything, right? Buyer decides he doesn't prefer the way the air feels at the home, or maybe buyer doesn't prefer how the sun sets at the home, or maybe buyer doesn't prefer this home anymore. Clearly, you can see why sellers and seller agents hate this investigation contingency. That's why they want to make it as short as possible and even encourage you to have it at 0 because they gave you home inspections. The more number of days it is, the more likely a buyer just changes their mind. This investigation contingency is super important for buyers if they don't want to risk losing their entire deposit when they discover something that they didn't know about the home. Buyers, don't be scammed into thinking you don't need this contingency. Any questions? Comment below. I hope this was helpful. Have a great day.